Hi, welcome to QA Scripts. In this video, we will learn bit of Selenium WebDriver, how it has got originated, what are the different advantages as well as disadvantages we have with different components of Selenium such as IDE, RC as well as Selenium WebDriver, and how can we download the Selenium WebDriver APIs and configure to Eclipse. Before jumping to WebDriver directly, let us try to understand what are the different components of Selenium we have. Selenium, as we all know, it has different components. First one is Selenium IDE. Second component is Selenium RC. RC stands for Remote Control. Third one is WebDriver. It's a separate API. And Grid. Let's see what different combinations we are going to use to make it Selenium 2 or Selenium WebDriver. There are some advantages as well as disadvantages with Selenium RC. At the same time, there are some advantages and disadvantages with respect to WebDriver APIs. But the interesting point here is the disadvantages of RC are the advantages in WebDriver API, and the disadvantages of WebDriver API are advantages in Selenium RC. After looking at these advantages and disadvantages, Selenium RC and WebDriver API designer have decided to merge both of these APIs and come up with one single API. That's what we call as Selenium 2 or Selenium WebDriver. We will look that part in coming slides. As of now, let us try to understand what are the benefits or advantages as well as disadvantages of each and every component, so it will be easy to understand why the merging was necessary to make a powerful tool called Selenium WebDriver. Here I have given simple explanation about Selenium IDE. As we know, Selenium IDE is a plugin for Firefox. Means it's not going to work independently. It will come as a extension or plugin for a browser called Firefox browser or Mozilla Firefox. And Selenium IDE allows us to record and playback. In the sense, this is very powerful tool for the people who are not good with programming knowledge. For them, they can start record and playback the same script on browser, so it will automate some of the features of the application. Selenium RC allows user or a tester to script the functionality. In a sense, we can use our own languages such as Java or Ruby or Python, so and so, and we can use as a scripting for the automating purpose, and it will allow us to do some modification in scripting, like putting loop controls control loops and string manipulation classes, and various object oriented programming languages and concept can be incorporated in case of RC, and we can execute the script on multiple browsers. In case of IDE, it was allowing us to execute on only one browser, that is Firefox browser, but RC is advanced version of Selenium IDE, and it will allow us to execute on different browsers. It may be Firefox, it may be Internet Explorer, or it may be Chrome, Safari, so and so. But here the disadvantage is we should know the programming knowledge, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. And there is a concept called server. First we need to run the server, then it will be executing the script. Selenium the WebDriver API is again, it will allow us to use the classes, methods, very good methods which are coming up, and automate using your preferred language such as Java, Ruby or Python. And it will also allow us to execute on different browsers, something like Internet Explorer, Chrome as well as Safari. But there are some disadvantages in case of WebDriver. We'll discuss later. Grid, this is nothing but it will allow us to execute the script on multiple browser. So it has a set of classes, set of APIs. Those APIs will allow us to execute one script on multiple browsers. Not only browsers, even we can execute in remote machine as well. Let us look at a bit of Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is an integrated development environment for Selenium scripts. It is implemented as a Firefox extension and allows us to record, edit, debug the scripts. If you open Selenium IDE, it will be looking like this, where we'll be having a red button. This will allow us to record the script and play it back. Selenium IDE is not only a recording tool, but it's a complete IDE. What actually this complete IDE means? Let us look at some of the advantages, then you will understand why we call Selenium IDE as complete IDE. As I explained, it supports record and playback. It does not require to start server before executing the script. It means the script what you are going to record, immediately you can play it back. The actions what you have recorded will get repeated and it will be performed on your application. So to do this, we don't need to start any server or backend applications to make this happen. It's a very simple and straightforward. We can record the script and we can play it back immediately. It is a GUI plugin. As I explained, it's a plugin for it's a plugin for Mozilla Firefox. It will not become a plugin for any other browsers except Firefox. It is not object oriented. Autocomplete for all common Selenium commands, in the sense as soon as you start recording, automatically the related commands will come in the editor field of Selenium and it will start recording. Even if you want, you can type on your own. There is a command drop down. In that command drop down, you will be having lot of methods. You can use those methods or commands and automate the functionality of application. Core engine is JavaScript based. Debug and set breakpoints. It will allow you to set breakpoints and debug if something is going to fail. If script is failing for some reason, you can debug very easily. You can save the test in HTML or Ruby script or any other format you choose. Supports Selenium user extension .java, not Java, it is JavaScript JS file. In the sense, if you want to customize some of the commands, or if you want to create new command, you can do it using JavaScript, and that JavaScript file can be attached to Selenium IDE, and after implementing those classes or methods in Selenium IDE, you can use it for the recording and playback purpose. Option to automatically assert the title of every page, and also there are some plugins for Selenium IDE. That is, the Selenium IDE plugins are going to be helpful to enhance our script. But there are some disadvantages. In fact, those disadvantages are making Selenium IDE bit of complex or not robust useful. In a sense, we can use Selenium IDE for particular or a limited functionality application. We cannot go extensively and we cannot automate entire application. Something like high weight applications we cannot automate. We cannot go for database connections and all. Let us look at the disadvantages what we have with respect to Selenium IDE. First and foremost disadvantage is it only works in Mozilla Firefox browser. But in real-time scenario, the application, it will ask us to test on different browsers. In a sense, the requirement will be like that. The application has to be executed and tested on different browsers. But here Selenium IDE is only supports Mozilla Firefox. Hence, we are going to consider this as a major disadvantage. It does not support moving mouse cursors. In the sense, if a object or element on your application requires mouse movement and then click, those kind of methods or those kind of actions we are not going to find in Selenium IDE. So if a functionality has elements or objects, something like link or buttons or edit fields, if they need mouse move first, like mouse over and click, those functionality cannot be automated using Selenium IDE. Need to append full XPath with XPath equals to // in the sense, each and every elements of your application will be identified by a element locator. In case of XPath, it's a one element locator. We need to give // command, then only script will going to identify the elements. Difficult to use control statements and string manipulation methods. Here, since after recording, all the methods, all the commands will be listed one by one. Here, it will not allow us to use control statements like for loops, while loops extensively, and we cannot use string class to manipulate the characters as well as the string, because in real time we may need to compare one keyword to another keyword, one string to another string. We may need to split the command, split the method to perform and to get some user friendly messages and sub sentence of a sentence. So those kind of methods, operations cannot be done using Selenium IDE. Poor test report. The test report is poor after execution. The report what we're going to get is not up to mark. We cannot send that report, and here it will not be clear why script is failing, why script is passing, what step is failing or passing. The information is not clear. No database connection. The database connection facility is not present with the Selenium IDE. Because of that, we cannot verify the data what we are going to enter in application using the script from database. Does not support parameterization using external files such as Excel sheets or comma separated files or XML. So one script can be executed again and again, but if I want to iterate or parameterize with different sets of test data, the IDE is not going to support parameterization. No cross-browser testing. As I explained, the IDE will support only one browser, that is Mozilla Firefox. So we will not be able to test the same application in Internet Explorer or Chrome using Selenium IDE. No reusable functions or framework. It does not support listeners. It does not support test iPhone, Android applications. Nowadays, mobiles are getting very famous, but IDE is not going to support the mobile apps in devices. These are the disadvantages. Because of this, the IDE is not suitable to test high weightage application or end-to-end scenarios. Other component of Selenium is Selenium RC. This is bit advanced version of Selenium IDE. Selenium RC or Selenium remote control is not going to have UI like Selenium IDE. This is a API. We can download from official website and we can integrate with Eclipse and we can use. Before trying to understand the technical part of Selenium RC, let us look at the example, general example, why we need RC and how exactly RC works. Let me say I have a businessman from India. He knows Hindi. Suppose if you want to communicate and build a business with a Chinese businessman, the Chinese businessman only know about Chinese language, but he does not know Hindi. So here the communication is going to be a biggest problem, because Indian businessman know only Hindi but not Chinese language. The Chinese businessman know Chinese but not Hindi. So how can these two guys can build a business? How can these two guys have proper communication which both can understand? To make this happen, what we need is we need a middleman who can understand Hindi and translate to Chinese, and also who can understand Chinese language and understand to Hindi, so that this middleman can convert from one language to another language, or he can translate one language to another language, so that he can build a relation between two nations people or two businessmen. In this way the communication can happen. The same way how middleman is present between Indian businessman and Chinese businessman, the RC is going to work as a middleman in case of Selenium RC automation field. Let us look at how exactly Selenium RC is going to work as a middleman. Before that, let us try to see how can we download, how can we make this as a middleman. Here is the snap. It shows from where Selenium RC can be downloaded. There is a website, official website called seleniumhq.org. In that there is a section called Selenium server, or formerly the Selenium RC server. In that there will be a link. You can click on link. As soon as you click on link, it will start downloading API. The API name is Selenium-server-standalone-2.44.0. 2.44.0 is the version. This will keep changing. Now we need to launch, or we need to run these APIs before executing a script. How actually script will be? The script will be written in Eclipse using any language. It may be Java or .NET or Python or Ruby as well. So if script what we have written, if you want to execute, before execution Selenium RC has to be started and it should be up and running. So here think that Eclipse, what it has scripts, is a Indian businessman. He doesn't know Chinese language. Here let us consider browser is a Chinese business person. If my script written in Eclipse need to communicate with the browser and pass the commands such as dot send keys, dot click, or enter some data into a edit field, the commands what we have written in Eclipse is not going to understand by browser, because browser will understand only JavaScript language, whereas what I have written the script in Eclipse is not related to JavaScript, it's related to Selenium command. We call them as a Selenius commands or Selenius. To make this happen, we're going to run the server. This acts as a middleman between our Eclipse script and browser. Let us try to download Selenium RC and start running the RC here. As I explained, this is the official site, that is seleniumhq.org. Click on download. Here there is a section called Selenium server, formerly the Selenium RC server. Here there is a link called 2.44.0. I need to click on that link. As soon as I click on, I will get a pop-up saying that Selenium server standalone jar file is going to download. Click on save. As of now, I have already saved in my system. Let me not click on save. Let me say cancel. Here is the downloaded jar files. Let me open Eclipse. Think that this is my script I have written using Java. I want to execute this script on browser like Firefox. If I want to communicate or if I want to send any commands from Eclipse to Firefox, I need a middleman, because Firefox script, this Firefox browser or any browsers will understand only JavaScript's command from backend, whereas the Eclipse commands what we are going to send, it will be in terms of Selenius commands and it will be in Java. To make this conversion, we need Selenium RC. How to start Selenium RC server is, we have to go to command prompt and go to the folder where you have saved that API. In my case, I have saved in a folder called training software. Here I have navigated to training software. Now I have to type a command called java-jar, then followed by selenium-server-standalone-2.44.0.jar. That's the name of my jar file. After typing, hit enter. As soon as you hit enter, the server will be started and it will be running, up and running. Now I can start running the script from Eclipse. This will send the Selenium command to server. This server will convert that Selenium command into JavaScript, and JavaScript will be sent to browser. In that browser, the command will going to perform some actions such as clicking a button, entering a text into edit field, so and so. This is how we are going to have interaction between Selenium RC command and browser as well as with Eclipse. Now let us try to understand how exactly this is going to happen technically. As I showed the figure here, this is the Eclipse where we are going to write the script. In between Eclipse and browser, we'll be having a RC, Selenium RC server, which is going to be up and running. What happens in case of Selenium RC from the technical point of view? Let me say, when scripts start execution, Selenium RC server injects a Selenium script, not Selenium, JavaScript program called Selenium core into browser. In the sense, this RC will inject JavaScript program into browser. Why it is necessary to do it. Let us take one simple example. Think that President of United States is going to visit India. Before 1 month of President visit to India, what happens is they will send a group of security people like FBI, police, intelligence bureaus, so and so. A group of delegates will come to India and they will get involved in the surveying the places where the US president is going to visit in his tour. In the sense, they are going to take control of particular places even in India, and they will give the protection for the United States president. It doesn't mean that India security force is not up to that mark. It's not like that. Even India security force will going to interact with the US security force and they will provide the security to the president. Like that, here RC is going to send or inject JavaScript program into browser. That JavaScript program, what we call them as a Selenium core, that Selenium core will be having a proper repo or proper interaction with the JavaScript which is present in the browser. So the JavaScript present in this browser will directly have interaction with the Selenium core because they are in the same phase, they can understand each other's language. And here, after injecting Selenium core, will start receiving instructions relayed by RC server from test program. In the sense, the commands will going to start sending from Eclipse to RC. Those commands will be converted in terms of language where Selenium core can easily understand. As soon as Selenium core understands, since Selenium core is already into browser, so this Selenium core will take that instructions or command which is coming from RC, which is converted and which is in the way the Selenium script can be understand. So the command will come from Eclipse to RC. There it will get converted. That converted instructions or commands will be sent to Selenium core. The Selenium core is already placed or injected into browser. So this Selenium core will send the received instruction to the JavaScript of browser so that it will happen the interaction very easily. So if Eclipse sends one method saying enter ABC text into a edit field of application, that message will be sent to RC first. RC will get RC convert that particular command in the way Core Java can understand. The Core Java will take that instruction and it will communicate to JavaScript present in the browser, and the browser will be having its application. The application will be having edit field. To that edit field, it will enter ABC text and it will communicate back to Core Java. Whatever the response it gets from application, it will convey to Selenium core. Selenium core will convey back to RC, and again RC will convert this message what it received from Selenium core, and it will send back to Eclipse as a report. So when the instructions are received, Selenium core will execute them as JavaScript's command. The browser will obey the instructions of Selenium core and will relay its response to RC server. RC server will receive the response of a browser and it will display the result in Eclipse. As I explained, after performing some actions, the responses will going to send back to RC. That same response will convert and it will send back to Eclipse as a report or result. RC will fetch the next instruction from test script to repeat the whole cycle. Again, the cycle will repeat after one instruction sent from Eclipse to RC, RC to core Java, Selenium core. It will perform some actions and the result will be sent back to Eclipse. Then it will go to next command. Again, the cycle will continue. Selenium RC server acts as a middleman between Selenium commands and browser. So this is how Selenium RC is going to work. Then you might be thinking this is the best way. No, there are some advantages as well as disadvantages with respect to Selenium RC. Let us try to understand what are the advantages of Selenium remote control. It supports all browsers like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari and Opera. So it's not like a Selenium IDE. It's going to support multiple browsers so that we can test one script on multiple browsers. It is a standalone Java program which allow you to run HTML test suites. It is easy and small API. If you look at the size of API is very less and easy to handle. Selenium RC supports multiple programming languages such as Java, Python, Ruby, so and so. So if a person know either of one language what I have listed here, he can easily start working using Selenium RC. More than advantages, we have disadvantages with respect to Selenium RC. What are the disadvantages? First and foremost is it requires to start server before executing the test script. As we observed, we have to launch or we have to start the server. It should be up and running before the script execution starts. Because of these actions or because of this process, the execution of script will be slow. The third disadvantage is it does not support moving mouse cursor. Again, as we have a disadvantage in IDE, here also the mouse movement or cursor movements are not supported in RC. Methods are too confusing, such as type or type case. Let's say I have a edit field called username. If I want to enter username text, I have two methods in RC. One is type and type keys. So it's going to be a confusing for the tester which method we have to use. Like that, we have other methods like click at or mouse at. If you want to click any button, we have two methods. One is click at and mouse at. So it's confusing for the tester which method we have to use, whether it's a click at or mouse at. So like that, there are so many methods. These methods are going to make any tester in confusion. It will push us to what methods we can use. So it's going to be difficult to decide. Another disadvantage is it does not support test. It's not going to support to test iPhone as well as Android applications. That is what we are going to call as mobile apps testing. Selenium RC will not be supported the mobile apps testing. So these are the disadvantages what we have with respect to Selenium RC. But these disadvantages have been converted, or I can say that the disadvantages of Selenium RC are the advantages in WebDriver. Let us look at WebDriver. Before that, let's try to understand how it will work by taking same old example. Here I have Indian businessman, okay, but this time Indian businessman is has become intelligent, and now he can understand the Chinese language as well as he can communicate in Chinese language only. So there is no need of middleman in between Indian businessman and Chinese businessman, because even though Chinese businessman doesn't know Hindi, that is Indian language, but Indian businessman know Chinese language so that he can directly communicate. Now think that Eclipse, what we have written the test, and it will be having WebDriver APIs that acts as an Indian businessman. It will directly talk to browser. Browser here is Chinese businessman, even though browser accept only JavaScript commands or JavaScript instructions, but WebDriver APIs will be in position to send JavaScript instructions directly without anybody's help, like middleman help. Now let us try to understand the architecture of WebDriver. So here, as I explained, we are going to write Selenium, the test script in Eclipse using different languages, that is Java, .NET, Python, so and so, and we're going to directly run without starting any servers in between, because it is having classes, or I can say that it is capable enough to directly interact with browser JavaScript. When scripts start execution, WebDriver directly pumps Selenium's commands to the browser in terms of JavaScript method only. In the sense, before sending any commands or instructions, first it will convert into JavaScript method. That JavaScript method will be sent to browser. Since browser is always going to accept JavaScript instructions, so as soon as it gets instruction from Eclipse, it will perform the actions on browser or application. Browser will receive commands directly from Eclipse WebDriver in terms of JavaScript's method and sends back the report. Again, the JavaScript which is present inside the browser will send the instruction back to Eclipse as a report or result. Now let us see the advantage. It supports multiple browsers like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, Opera, so and so. Does not require to start server before executing. So this is the point I was telling as a disadvantage in case of Selenium RC, but here it's an advantage, because in WebDriver we don't need to start RC server or any server, because WebDriver APIs are matured enough to directly talk to browser. So this is a advantage, whereas the same point is disadvantage in Selenium RC. It actually actual core API which has binding in a range of languages and interacts natively with browser application. In a sense, WebDriver API will directly interact with natively with the browser application. APIs are entirely object oriented. So if API supports OOPS concept, we can use advanced OOPS concept so that we can make script highly reusable. It supports movement of cursors or moving mouse cursor. It was not supported by Selenium RC, but the disadvantage of RC here is the advantage in case of WebDriver. That is, we can perform mouse movements as well as mouse cursors movement on application. So if a functionality has elements where we need to move our mouse and click on, or mouse mover, that kind of functionality can be automated using WebDriver. It supports to test iPhone as well as Android applications. This was the disadvantage in case of Selenium RC, but here it is an advantage. In the sense, we can automate mobile apps testing as well. By looking at disadvantages, let's try to understand what is the disadvantage. As compared to RC, it is bit complex and large APIs. So if you look at the advantage of Selenium RC, It has easy and simple API with a very less memory. But if you look at the APIs of WebDriver, they are complex and large in size. So this is a disadvantage, but the same point is advantage in case of Selenium RC. Scripts execution on remote machine was having issue. If I want to execute my script on remote machine using WebDriver, it was difficult, but using RC was very easy. WebDriver cannot readily support new browsers. In the sense, if tomorrow new browser comes, maybe somebody invented new browser, that browser will not going to support readily. Instead of that, we have to wait for the WebDriver people to upgrade, so that there will be a method or classes we can use it in later section. If a new browser comes out, it may have a different process of communicating with OS compared to other browsers. It's up to the WebDriver team of developers to decide if they want to support. Yes, they can support the new browser. If they don't want to support, just they will communicate saying that new browser is not going to support by WebDriver. So this is a kind of a disadvantage what we have with respect to WebDriver. Selenium RC has built-in test result generator, whereas WebDriver does not have built-in test result generator. To get the result in case of WebDriver, we need to go for some other third-party tools or add-ons such as TestNG. But this is the advantage in case of RC because it has inbuilt test result generator. As I explained here, Selenium RC automatically generates an HTML file of test results. WebDriver has no inbuilt commands that automatically generates a test result file. Looking at the advantages and disadvantages of RC as well as WebDriver, what we come to know that is there are some advantages in RC, but there are the disadvantages in WebDriver, and whatever the disadvantages we have in RC, they are the advantages in WebDriver as vice versa. So the developer of Selenium RC as well as WebDriver, they observed this point. Since some are the disadvantages in one tool but advantages in another tool, and advantage of one tool is disadvantage in another tool or APIs, if they combine both of these APIs, we can come up with a very stable and powerful APIs, because the advantages, or I can say that disadvantages of one tool will get taken care by another API, and I can say that it's a taken. So those disadvantages will be removed, and the advantages will be the advantages of that merged API will increase because of two API advantages. So after having discussion in 2006, the designer of RC as well as WebDriver, they started combining RC and WebDriver APIs. So initially we were calling Selenium RC and WebDriver, both are different APIs. In 2006 they started merging, and they came up with another API called Selenium 2 or Selenium WebDriver. In market we call that merged API is as you know, Selenium 2 or Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium WebDriver is nothing but it's a merged API from Selenium RC and WebDriver. So WebDriver is a web automation framework that allows you to execute your test against two different browsers. So after merger, how many different browsers we can test is, here is the snap. WebDriver supports different browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, so and so. Following programming languages are supported by Selenium WebDriver: Java, .NET, PHP, Python, Perl, and Ruby. Tester can use OOPS concepts, collections, and other advanced features of Java, because this is the advantage in case of WebDriver but disadvantage in Selenium RC. As soon as they merge both of them, now we can use multiple browsers, multiple languages, as well as OOPS concept and collections, as well as advanced concepts of core Java. This is all about how Selenium WebDriver came into this world. Now let us try to understand how can we download Selenium WebDriver and how can we configure to Eclipse. To install or download Selenium WebDriver, we need to launch Firefox browser. Of course, you can launch any other browsers, but it's good to start with Firefox browser because Firefox browser is open source and they have used Firefox browser as a native browser. And here we won't get any file with .exe, and we will not going to run or install Selenium WebDriver, because Selenium WebDriver is a API. There are set of files. Those files has to be downloaded, and those files can be integrated to Eclipse. After that, we'll be able to automate. It's not like other softwares. For example, if you take a look at Qtp, it will come with a separate setup file or exe file. If you double click on exe file, it will start displaying the user friendly or wizards, where you need to click on next buttons. After that, a software will going to install. But it's not same case with WebDriver. Then how we're going to download the APIs of Selenium WebDriver? Here we are going to look at. After launching Firefox browser, you need to access the official site of Selenium, that is seleniumhq.org. Once you navigate to the page called seleniumhq.org, there will be a button called download. Click on download tab. It's a tab. After clicking on tab, you need to scroll down. There is a one section called Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings. Since WebDriver supports multiple scripting languages such as Java, C#, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, so and so, all the languages APIs of WebDriver will be present and listed over there. Based upon your wish, based upon your choice, you can click on download link. For example, here if you want to download the Java APIs of WebDriver, you can click on download link present in the row of Java. Here it shows the version, that is 2.44.0, and this version will be changing once in a 2 months or once in a 6 months based upon the new releases. After downloading APIs, these APIs will come in terms of zip file. We need to unzip or extract the zip file, that is Selenium core Java zip file. That zip will be containing some of the folders and files. Here I am trying to show the zip file, and once you extract the zip file, and the zip file will be named with a label called Selenium-Java-version, something like 2.44.0. Whereas in case of Selenium RC, the name was different, that is Selenium-standalone version was there, but here it is Selenium-Java-version, like 2.44.0. After extracting, you'll be able to see one folder called Selenium with version. If you open this Selenium -2.44.0 folder, you'll be able to see the jar files as well as folder called libs, as I have showed here. There will be two jar files out of a lib folder. That is, one is selenium-java-2.44.0. another jar file is selenium-java-2.44.0-srcs. Let us navigate to website called seleniumhq.org, as I explained using presentation. Here there is a button called, or tab called, download. As soon as you click on download, this page will display. Here if you scroll down, there will be one section called Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings, and there will be a link called download. Click on download link. As soon as you click on download link, you will get a pop-up saying that selenium-java-2.44.0.zip. Save it as a file in your desired folder, and click OK here. I have already downloaded, so I will not click OK. Instead of that, I will click cancel. But in your case, you have to click on OK if it is not downloaded already. Here is the zip file saying selenium-java-2.44.0. You have to extract. You have to right click and you have to say extract all. It will ask a folder where you would like to extract. You can say in the same folder. For example, in my case, it is a training software. In that folder only I want to extract. Then click on extract. It will automatically extract. After extracting, a folder will be coming up, that is selenium-2.44.0. If you open that, you will be able to see two jars. One is selenium-java-2.44.0 and another is -src. But these are not only two jars, but we will be having lot of jars inside the lib as well. So there are so many jar files inside the lib. Let us not worry about what are these jar files all about. Once we add to Eclipse, we can use our classes as well as interfaces which we need to automate a browser application. Now let us open Eclipse because I want to add the jar files to Eclipse if I want to automate any application. Before adding, we need to create a project. If you are using Maven, these activities or whatever the steps I am telling is not necessary. But if you don't use Maven, you need to create project, and to that project you need to add as a external jar files. If you don't add the jar files of WebDriver as external jar files to Eclipse, it will not be identifying, because the jar files what we have downloaded is not developed by Java developers, but somebody has developed. That's why Eclipse will be identifying those jar files as external jar files. Let us click on new and project. Let me select Java project, and here let me say project name as demo, and let me verify all required things, then click on finish. So here my project got created, that is demo. To this project I have to add the jar files of WebDriver. Now how to add jar files? Very simple. Right click on project. Remember, you need to right click on project. Some people by mistake they will right click on src folder and they will try to add. Don't try to add at any folder or package. Please right click and go to properties. If you are in navigator view, you will not be able to see a Java build path here. If you are into Explorer view, package Explorer view, then if you right click, you'll be able to see one option called build path. So to make it easy, irrespective of whether you are in package Explorer or Navigator, it's always better right click on your project, click on properties. As soon as you click on properties, you'll be getting one window saying properties for demo. Here there will be one option called Java build path. Click on and click on a tab called libraries. So you should always click on libraries. By default, the jar which are coming along with your Eclipse will be present, and these jars are helpful to create Java programs, but not Eclipse programs or test cases. To add Selenium jar files, first and foremost you have to click on add external jars. Click on that button as a the button name is add external jars. After clicking, it will open one browse button. Go to the place where you have downloaded the jar files. For example, here is a folder called Selenium -2.44.0. Open it. After that, you'll be able to see two jar files which are present outside the lib. First, select both of them and click open. Now, two jars have been added. Again, click on add external jars, open libs, select all the jar files and click on open. Now all the jar files of Selenium WebDriver have been added to my project called demo. Then click OK. Before that, you can also see where the jar files are present. Here it says the path, that is D drive training software Selenium -2.44.0. After adding, click on OK. Now you'll be able to use all the jar files, all the classes as well as interfaces of WebDriver. To do it, click on src folder, create a class saying base test. Of course, you can give any name. Click on finish. Now here, if you type the keywords of WebDriver, then it will start importing. For example, there is a interface called WebDriver. It's not going to identify before importing. If you type WebDriver and move your cursor on the red mark, it says that create local variable, that is WebDriver, or create field. Those kind of suggestions will be presented from Eclipse, because Eclipse is not able to identify the keyword called WebDriver. To make this WebDriver, we need to click Control space. As soon as you hit Control space, it will give this window. Here it will be having the path where my WebDriver interface is present. It is present in org.openqa.selenium. This is a package what we have added as a external jar files just before. Click on this first option. As soon as you click on, it will be adding one statement at the line number 1 saying import org.openqa.selenium.webdriver. Since this is a interface, we cannot create object, but the classes which are implemented from this interface we have to use. For example, here I will say driver. This is a object name, and I will say new and Firefox driver. The Firefox driver is a class which is going to come from package called org.openqa.selenium.firefox.firefox driver. Use that. So this will help us to launch the Firefox browser. Like that, we have Internet Explorer driver, Chrome driver. If you use Internet Explorer driver, this script will launch the Internet Explorer. If you use Chrome driver, it will launch the Chrome browser. But to work with Chrome as well as Internet Explorer or any other browser except Internet Explorer, we need to have driver. The reason is very simple. They have developed Selenium developer have developed the APIs keeping Firefox as a native browser. Hence, we don't need any separate driver in case of Firefox. But for other browser, we need drivers. This will come as a exe. If you run this class, it will launch the browser, that is Firefox browser. Let me click on run and it will take some time. And launch the browser. So this is confirmed that WebDriver APIs have been downloaded and integrated or added as a external jar files to Eclipse. From here onwards, you can start automating the functionality of your application. Here in the PPT, I have explained the same steps what I have performed. So adding WebDriver APIs as a external jar files and clicking OK. This is all about WebDriver introduction. We'll be having separate videos how to automate each and every functionalities, what are the element locators, how can we use TestNG, and how can we design the framework. Thank you for watching this video. For any queries or doubts, you can contact us using mail ID, that is info@qascripts.com or qascripts25@gmail.com, and also you can call us on the number 8095916908. Thank you for watching this video.